Hi, my grade 11 students. We have finished grade 10 syllabus all. Now we are in grade 11. In the grade 11, first lesson is trade and supporting services. The thing is this, you must remember, uh, we are discussing now target in your O-level exam. Especially this lesson is very important lesson to you in your O-level paper. They will cover class to 8 or 10 marks from this lesson. So, today I am going to start grade 11, first lesson, trade and supporting services. In grade 10 you have learned what is the business, background of the business, and cash book and petty cash book and all the prime entry books, trial balance, correction of errors, this everything you have done, right? First of all, before I go to the trade and supporting service introduction, I'll revise you what is a business. Everyone knows that. Business. Business is any economic activity which fulfill human needs. Any economic activity. It may be a production, it may be a distributing, sometimes it may be a providing services. But finally, what should be done? Any economic activity should fulfill human needs. There are a lot of needs: food, shelter, education, entertainment. These all are the needs, right? Through the business, what they do, they fulfill people's needs, right? Then again I move to the what is the business. Business is any economic activity that manufacture or providing services to fulfill human needs. Manufacturing or providing services finally fulfill human needs and wants, right? It is a business. Then there are main two objectives of a business. One is earn in profit. You think if you started a business, actually what is your target? To earn something, no? Something means earn in profit, right? The other one is you can't achieve your profit earning target if you are unable to satisfy your customer. If you can satisfy your customer, it means you can earn profit. If the customer is not satisfied, they never come to your place to buy goods or to take your service, to get your service. Then you can't earn profit. Then there are main two objectives of a business. You must remember it. First one is earn in profit. The other one is increase in customer satisfaction. You have learned this everything in grade 10, right? Now, again I'll revise you what is the business and objective of the business. What is the business? Business is any economic activity manufacturing or providing services to the people fulfill their needs. Then what are the main two objectives? One is earn in profit. The second one is increase in customer satisfaction. Okay. Now we can classify these all the business organization in the world. We can classify all the business organization in the world into two categories. One is commerce, right? Commerce. The other one is industries, right? Now business we can classify into two categories. One side we indicate commerce, the other side we indicate industries, right? Commerce, again we classify trade and supporting services. Your lesson is this, right? Your grade 11 first lesson is trade and supporting services. But you can see the other side also as industries. We'll see what is that, right? Then commerce side, I explain commerce. Commerce goes into two categories, trade and supporting services. What do you mean by trade? It goes two categories. How? Domestic trade and international trade. Domestic trade and international trade. Domestic trade, again we classify retail trade and wholesale trade, right? I'll discuss this everything in this lesson. So please pay attention, right? Then trade, we can classify into two categories. How? Domestic trade and international trade. Domestic, again we classify retail trade and wholesale trade. International trade, again we classify how import trade and export trade. You heard this every word. One by one we discuss in this lesson, right? Then supporting services. What are the supporting services? Banking, yeah, one of the supporting service. It will give big service to the businessmen to conduct their business operation smoothly and effectively. The other one, insurance. Insurance is the other supporting services. Insurance is other supporting service which provides big advantage to the businessman, right? The other one is communication. Communication also will provide big service to the businessman. The other one is transportation. Now, we can classify commerce concept into two categories, trade and supporting services. Trade and supporting services. Trade, again we classify domestic trade and, what's the other one? International trade. International trade. Okay. Then trade, again we classify retail trade and wholesale trade. Retail trade and wholesale trade. Then international trade. It goes two category, import trade and export trade. Import trade and export trade. The other side, we discuss about the supporting services. What is the first one? Banking. The other one, insurance. The other one, communication. The last one is transportation. Now we have discussed, we just give a initial introduction regarding the commerce. The other side, industries. Industries we classify into two categories, primary and secondary. Primary and secondary. Industries mean there we discuss manufacturing something, right? Primary means primary industries are which are related to the agricultural industry, right? Secondary means industrial something, right? It is not related to the primary agricultural category, right? Actually, we don't discuss deeply about industries in your syllabus. We discuss only about what? Trade and supporting services, right? Then one by one we can discuss about trade, retail trade, wholesale trade, international trade. It means import and export. They are the characteristics, and this everything we discuss in the trade and supporting services lesson, right? Okay, now we move to the next slide. Now commerce includes what? Trade and supporting services. Trade and supporting services, this both concept included in commerce, right? Then it is divided into two, trade and supporting services. Trade and supporting services. Then what do you mean by trade? You have heard this word trade. Dhammika Trade Center, Sisila Trade Center, then Ajanta Trade Center, like trade. When you travel somewhere, you can see there are a lot of different boards both sides of the road. Why? There are dress point in that business is there, like they are giving different names. Actually, why? What they do? They buy goods and they sell goods. Who sell goods? Businessmen. Who buy goods? Customers, right? If you want to get some service from lawyer, you got to meet the lawyer. Lawyer never sell any product. He give their service. He provide their service. That time also you have to pay money. When you meet doctor, you get the service, not the product, right? Not the product. Then there also you get the doctor service and you pay money. You pay money, right? Then this everything include in the trade concept. Now trade means buying and selling goods and services. Buying and selling goods and services are called trade. Not only goods, right? Here we discuss about the services also. That's why I explained before, when you meet the doctor, you can't buy goods, but you can get the service. When you meet lawyer, You can't buy some goods, but you can get the service. To that service, you have to pay money. Now, clearly you can understand there are two parties to do a transaction. There should be minimum two parties to do a transaction, to do a trade. One side you can see the businessman. The other side you can see the customer. You think you want to buy something. Then you go to the supermarket. The supermarket is the seller, is the businessman. Then you select what are the items you need and you put into the trolley. Then you go to the cashier point. Then cashier will punch you all the products. Then she or that cashier tells to you, sir, madam, 1500 is the bill. Then you give your credit card or debit card, or you give your notes and coins, and you will pay the bill and you come. Then I want to explain here, how many parties are there now? Two parties. Who are the two parties? Businessman and customer. Who is the customer? You are the customer. Businessman? Business is the supermarket. Right? Then you try to understand, to do any trade, there should be minimum two parties. One party is the businessman, the other party is the customer. The other party is the customer. Then here, to do a trade means buying and selling goods and services. It is called as trade. This trade we divided into two parts. How many parts? Two parts. Two parts. Right? It goes two parts. We discussed two parts of the trade. What are the two parts? One is domestic trade. The other one is international trade. Domestic. When I tell this word, you feel some domestic means like house inside of the something layer. Actually, domestic means inside of the country, not deal with other countries. Right? If this is Sri Lanka, then Sri Lanka, inside of the Sri Lanka, there are a lot of sellers and buyers. All the activities, business related activities are called as what? Domestic trade. Domestic trade. Two parties within the country. Which trade? Domestic trade. Two parties buying and selling goods. But they don't deal with other countries. So it becomes, if they deal with the other countries, it means if one country buys goods from another country or countries, then it is known as international trade. International trade. Now I think you understood well. Domestic trade means two parties within a country. Two parties within a country, they buy goods and they sell goods and they produce something, like they sell it to the customers. This, all the business related activities within a country are called domestic trade. Domestic trade. Now you think, no, one country buys goods from another country. One country buys goods from another country or countries. I'll give the example for it. What? Sri Lanka import vehicles from Japan. How many countries? Two countries, Sri Lanka and Japan. Sri Lanka buys goods from Japan. Then how many countries? Two countries. It becomes which category? International trade. It is called international trade. You think businessman lived in Colombo, he purchased cinnamon stock from Mathara farmers. Now, one country, but two parties, Colombo businessman and Mathara cinnamon farmers. Right? Then that Mathara people who grow cinnamon, they sell their products to the Colombo businessman. Domestic trade, right? It is a domestic trade. Why? No deal with other countries. So now you know trade is divided into two categories, domestic trade and international trade. Domestic is done within the country, internationally it is done among other countries. Okay. Everyone look at the screen and you can see the definition for the domestic trade. Trade in activities that occur among different parties within a country. You must remember this, within a country. Right? When you define the domestic trade, you have to use that word, what? Within a country. Right? Then again, repeat the definition. Trade in activities that occur among different parties within a country are domestic trade. Domestic trade. Two parties or more than two parties are done different transactions, but you must remember within a country. It is domestic trade. This domestic trade is going to two category. How? Retail trade, then what? Wholesale trade. Retail trade. But still you don't know what is retail trade. Retail trade means you, then I'll give different example, then you can understand what is the meaning of the retail trade. Remember this. You want to buy breakfast. Then you go to the restaurant. You order your food items that you need. Then you had your breakfast and you pay the bill and you come back to your home. Here you are the customer, the restaurant is the business. Then you pay the bill and you purchase what you need and you had your breakfast and you came back home. Here you purchase some goods. You purchase some goods. For what? For resale purpose or for your final consumption? Actually, you purchase them for your final consumption. It is called retail trade. Example 2. Kamal buys a bread for his dinner. Kamal buys a bread for his dinner. Then why Kamal purchase a bread? To prepare sandwich and to resell? No. He purchased a bread to his dinner, for his dinner. Then Kamal's objective also not for resale, his objective was what? To complete, to take that bread, to get that bread to his dinner, for his dinner. Then that example also retail trade, retail business. Right? You think now you want to construct your own house, then you buy some lot of cement from hardware. You buy lot of cement and steel and sand and bricks, everything from your close hardware and you pay the bill. Why you purchase cement, bricks and steel? To construct your own house. Why you purchase? For your consumption, for your usage, to construct your own house. Then that one also what? Retail trade. Remember, when we discuss about the retail trade, we don't consider about the quantities, we consider only the objective. If the objective is resale, it is not the retail business. It is not the retail business, right? If your purpose is final consumption, if your objective is to your final consumption, these all the transactions, all the businesses, all the trade activities are called retail trade. Retail trade. Now, remember, you can, most of the time you go to the supermarkets and pharmacies and small shops and your village small shop to buy something to fulfill your day-to-day needs and wants. Actually, generally, we say these all businesses are retail shops, retail trades, right? Then the other one, wholesale trade. Wholesale trade is another concept. Actually, here we consider purpose of the buyer, objective of the buyer. Now I change the previous examples to the wholesale trade. Remember this. Kamal buys 10 breads. Kamal buys 10 breads to prepare sandwich and to resell to school canteen. What is the objective of Kamal? Kamal's objective is not final consumption. Kamal's objective is not end users. Then Kamal's objective is to prepare sandwich and to resell them to someone, to resell them to the canteen. Then it becomes wholesale trade. It becomes wholesale trade. Another example we'll take now. Remember, in the previous time I explained you purchased sand, bricks, cement and steel from hardware to construct your own house. Here you don't have any commercial objective, right? Here you don't have any commercial objective. Now I change the same example. You think you purchase lot of cement and sand, steel and any other building materials from hardware to construct a house and to resell. To construct a house and resell. Tell me now, your objective is reselling purpose or to construct your own house? In the second time, now I explain not to construct your own house. Actually, why you purchase those building materials to construct a house and to resell? Then that time, that transaction is called wholesale trade. Wholesale trade. Now you remember this. To decide whether it is retail business or wholesale business, what is the main thing to be considered? The main thing to be considered is objective of the buyer. If the buyer's objective is final consumption, these all trade activities are known as retail trade. If the buyer's objective is not the final consumption, to resale purpose, it is known as what? Wholesale trade. Wholesale trade. Now look at here. Consumers require purchasing various goods and services in order to fulfill their wants. These goods are sold to them by the retailers. Normally, as a customer, you want to buy goods and services to fulfill your day-to-day needs and wants. Then you go to the supermarkets, you go to the different shops and you buy something, goods and services from these shops to fulfill your day-to-day needs and wants. That is called as, actually, generally we say they are the retail activities, retail trade. Right? Retail trade. Then example, when a student buys the required exercise books from the school cooperative shop, student buys exercise books and pens and half sheets, the same stationery things, from school cooperative shop. Tell me, it is retail trade or wholesale trade? Student buys stationeries from school cooperative shop. You think about school canteen. Why student purchase? To do their education activities, to use them to their education activities. Then actually the objective of that student is resale purpose or the final consumption? Final consumption, no. Then it is what? Example for retail trade. It is an example for retail trade. The other example, remember when the same student buys required exercise books and the other stationery material not from the cooperative shop, from another trading shop. From where? Here we don't consider from where they purchase. Right? We consider only what? What is the objective of the buyer? What is the objective of the buyer? Buyer's objective is final consumption. Then we say it is retail trade. Now I change the same example. Look at here. The same student, right? The same student buys required exercise books and all other stationery materials from the same school cooperative shop to sell to the students. To sell to the students. Now think that student's objective is to sell to the students or to use by himself. The second time is actually why that student purchased those stationeries and exercise books and this everything from the school stationery shop to sell to the students. To sell to the students, not for final consumption. Now you tell me what is that? It is wholesale trade. Objective is different now. Right? Then the same student can buy the same stationeries and exercise books and this everything from another shop, from a supermarket, from another shop. But objective is to sell to the students. Then it becomes what? Wholesale trade. Still we are discussing about retail trade, right? Okay. Now, next one. Characteristics of retail trade. Characteristics. Then you can think like this. Characteristics. What are the characteristics of retail trade? Remember, selling goods and services for final consumption. This is the important thing. This is the important thing. Why? The main characteristic of retail trade is buying and selling goods for final consumption. Right? If someone buys a certain stock of goods from somewhere, lot of goods from somewhere, if that person's objective is final consumption, we can say it is retail trade. Retail trade. Then main characteristic of retail trade is what? Selling goods and services for final consumption. It's a main characteristic, right? The second one, supplying required goods in required quantities at the required time to the consumers. You think when you go to the small shop close to your house, normally do you buy 100 packets of milk powder at once for your home use? 100 packets of milk powder? No. Why? Normally you purchase 1 or 2 packets of milk powder. Why? Actually, why you purchase? You purchase your family consumption, right? But in the same shop, you can buy potatoes, spreads and dal, rice, that's everything. Soap and this toothpaste, this everything you can buy. Why? All the items what the people need to fulfill their day-to-day needs and wants are there. Right? Various goods items are there, but small quantities. Small quantities. It is the nature of it's a characteristic of the retail trade. Normally, retail seller, they sell what? Required quantities at the required time to the consumers. Required times to the consumers. It is the second characteristic. The other one, close proximity to consumers. If you are going to start the retail shop, you think what are the factors to be considered? When you start a retail shop, you should have enough money, okay? Then you find a suitable place. Why? If you can start your business in the middle of the town, it's very good. If you start a stationery shop, you find the place which is close to the school or tuition classes. Why? Then it is the suitable place. Most of the customer base is there, right? Then remember this thing, when you establish a retail shop, you find a suitable place which is close to the customers, right? But if you start wholesale business, because final customers, they don't come to wholesale shops, right? Most of the businessmen buy goods from wholesalers. They buy large number of quantities at once. Here, no need to good place like very crowded area to establish wholesale business. Why? Lot of customers don't go there to buy goods and services. Remember, then when you establish your retail shop, you consider the suitable place, then it should be very close proximity to the customer, right? Then that businessman can sell their products, sell their goods for a large crowd if the place is good. Think about this. If you start a retail shop, do you select the middle of the Sinharaj? No. Why? Customers are not there, right? Then you select more suitable place, very crowded area. So the other feature, the other characteristic is retail trade is what? Close proximity to customers. The other one, providing a variety of goods. Variety of goods means there are large number of goods in small quantities. Why? Normally people come to buy what they need to fulfill their day-to-day needs and wants. They never buy large number of units from retail businessmen. So every time retailer sells variety of goods in small quantities. Why? Each customer buys only small quantities, right? So these are the main characteristics of retail trade. Again, I repeat, first one is selling goods and services for final consumption. It is the main characteristic. The other one is supplying required goods in required quantities at the required time. The other one is close proximity to consumers. The last one is what? Providing a variety of goods. Okay. Now, importance of retail trade. What is the importance of retail trade? We discuss about, now you know what is retail business and what are the characteristics of retail trade. This everything you know. Now we discuss about importance of retail trade. See, providing goods and services to consumers to fulfill their daily needs and wants. Providing goods and services to consumers to fulfill their daily needs and wants. Remember, if you want to buy a book to write your notes, you go to the shop and you buy it. If you want to buy your lunch, then you go to the restaurant and you order your meal and you take your lunch and you come back to your home, right? If you want to buy some frock or trouser or t-shirt or something, then you go to the textile shop, you select very attractive garment and you pay money and you come back to your home. Remember, to fulfill daily needs and wants, ideal business is what? Retail business, retail trade. Then, so what is the first important of retail trade? What? Providing goods and services to consumers to fulfill their daily needs and wants, right? The second one, introducing new goods to consumers. Introducing new goods to consumer. Remember, manufacturer, if not, producer produces new products. He introduces new products to the market and he wants to get the customer feedback about their products. but the retail businessman has a big role regarding this. Why? Retail businessman is the person who explain about new products to the consumers. Consumers also give their positive and negative ideas about the new products. Then retail businessmen again communicate feedback of the customers about their products to the businessman, producer, manufacturer. Right? Now, who introducing new goods to the consumers? But producer or manufacturer will produce it, but who introduce new product to the consumer? He is the retail businessman. Then retail businessman can introduce new products, new goods to the customers. The other important thing is that then providing goods on credit at time. Providing goods on credit at time. Remember, sometime if you have not enough money, you go to the shop and you tell to the Mudalali or that businessman, what you say? After my salary, I'll settle the bill. Please give me 1 kilogram of sugar, right? 1 packet of milk powder. I'll pay money next week. Then businessman say, it's okay. You take, and he sells that without charging money at the same time, but he will collect money later, right? You have to pay money later. But it is called what? Credit, on credit, on credit. You can buy goods and services on credit from retail businessman. Then role of the retail businessman is what? Selling goods on credit. Not every time, sometime, right? Then supporting to improve quality of goods by informing consumer feedback to the producer. Yeah, I explained before, producers produce new goods to fulfill customer needs and wants. Then that manufacturer or producer sell their goods to the retail businessman, and retail businessman sell these goods to the customers, end users, and he is telling about the quality of the goods and price and everything he explained to the customer. Then customer will buy, and retail businessman will tell to the customers, give me a good feedback about this product. Then customers will communicate good thing or bad thing about the products to the retail businessman. Then retail businessman inform about the positive or negative feedback from the customers about producers' goods, about the manufacturer's goods. Then manufacturer or producer can change their products according to the customer feedback. It is the other role of the retail businessman. Now, first one is providing goods and services to consumers to fulfill daily needs and wants. The other one is introducing new goods to consumers. The other one providing goods on credit terms, credit at time. The other one supporting to improve the quality of goods by informing consumer feedback to producer. These are the characteristics of retail trade. Now you know what is retail business, and you know what are the importance of retail trade, and you know what are the characteristics of retail trade. Now, types of retail trade. There are main 3 types of retail trade. The first one is fixed and large scale retail trade. Fixed and large. Remember, this classification is based on, depending on the nature of they can be categorized, right? According to the nature of the business. Nature. Fixed and large scale retail trade. It should be fixed. It is not moving from one place to another place, but it is large scale. In Sri Lanka, we can give supermarkets. It's a large scale. large scale, and fix. Then fixed and large scale retail trade example, what? Supermarket. Supermarket is the example. The other one, fixed and small scale. But it's fixed, not moving from one place to another, but it is fixed. Example, pharmacies, some groceries. We can give example for it, beauty salons, right? Then fixed small scale retail trades. The other one, small scale mobile retailers. Here not the fixed. They are moving from one place to another. Examples, retailers selling goods by visiting houses. Peddlers. Retailers selling goods by traveling from fair to fair. Yeah, you have seen them. Then Friday weekly fair, the same businessman you can see in the Tuesday weekly fair, and like that. So they are moving from one place to another, right? Not the fix, right? Mobile retail stores built on vehicles, right? Most of the popular word is what these days? Chunpang, like that is right. Mobile retailers, right? So mobile retailers, right? Then remember, these are the three classifications of retail trade. There are three categories: fixed and large scale, example supermarket; fixed and small scale retail trades, it is groceries and beauty salons. The other one, small scale mobile retailers, peddlers, and the person who sell goods fair to fair, right? The retailers selling goods by visiting houses, they are called what? Small scale mobile retailers, right? Now we move to the wholesale trade. You know, domestic trade we break into two categories. One is what? Retail trade. Domestic trade. Domestic trade we classified into two categories. One is what? Retail trade. The other one is what? Wholesale trade. Right? Under the retail trade, we discussed what? Definition. Now you know that. Definition. After that, what we discuss? Characteristics. The other one, importance also we discuss. Right? Remember, under the wholesale business also we discuss the same topic. What is definition, characteristics, and importance. The first of all, we should know what is wholesale business. Right? Now look at here. Purchasing of goods with the purpose of reselling is called wholesale trade. When we define retail trade, we focus about what? Final consumption. Who buy goods for final consumption? Who sell goods for final consumption? It is retail. Who buy goods for resale purpose, not the final consumption? It is called wholesale trade. Now look at here again. Purchase of goods with the purpose of reselling is called wholesale trade. Right? Then selling 50 kilograms of rice to a retailer. Why that retail businessman purchased that 50 kilograms of rice? To resell again to the customers. Then that retail businessman's objective is for reselling. It is wholesale. I'll take the previous example. Do you remember? I think you remember. I explained before. A student purchased exercise books and stationaries to sell to the students. To sell to the students, not for his own use. Why he purchased? To sell again to the students. Then it becomes what? Wholesale business. Wholesale business. If the same student purchase stationaries to use for his educational activities, then it becomes what? Retail trade. But here, that same student purchase stationaries to sell to the students. Example for wholesale. Contractor purchase cement, steel and sand to construct a house. Retail or wholesale? Wholesale. Why contractor construct houses? To sell them again to customers. Objective is different now. If the objective is reselling, it is wholesale business. If the objective is final consumption, it is retail trade, retail business. Here we discuss about what? Wholesale trade. The second example here, selling a stock of cement to a contractor to construct a building. Wholesale trade. It is wholesale trade. Now, next slide. Characteristics of wholesale trade. Characteristics of wholesale trade. In the previous time also we discussed definition of retail, characteristics of retail, importance of retail. Here definition finished now. Now we are going to discuss characteristics of wholesale. Right? Now, purchasing goods for the purpose of reselling. Purchasing goods for the purpose of reselling. Yeah, the previous time I explained you purpose of final consumption. It came under the retail. Here, purchasing goods for the purpose of reselling. Objective is reselling. Right? The second point, often selling large quantities of goods in one transaction. Why? Why here they say large quantities? Actually, the buyers buy these goods to resell to someone, not for final consumption. If they purchase then for their own final consumption, they buy only 2-3 items. But here, they purchase large quantities. Why they purchase large quantities? Because their objective is resell. Here, the second characteristic is what? Often selling large quantities of goods in one transaction. One transaction. Okay, now the next one. Selling a few selected items. Practically, wholesaler is unable to sell variety of the goods item in large quantities. Why? They sell only few items, but in large quantities. Then coconut seller, he sells only coconuts, rice and dal, like small variety of goods, but in large quantities. Think about retail shop, small quantities, but there are different variety of goods. Here, sell only few items, but in large quantities. Right? Selling few selected items. Unit selling price is relatively low. Yeah, when we compare with the retail price and wholesale price is low. Retail price is high. Why? Then wholesaler keep a profit margin and he sells goods to the retailer. You think wholesaler sell a product to the retailer, the price is, you think, 150 rupees. How much the price of the product? 150 rupees. Right? This is the selling price of the wholesaler. Now, you think you are the retail businessman. Do you sell the same product to the customers again to the same price for 150 rupees? Huh? No. You keep a certain amount of profit margin. No? Even you keep 20 rupees or 25 rupees. Then how much your price? Then you keep 150 rupees is the money given by you, paid by you to the wholesaler businessman. You want to keep now a certain amount of profit. Now your profit is how much? 25 rupees. Your profit is. Now tell me how much the selling price. Now 175 rupees is your selling price. 175 rupees is your selling price. Now you sell this product to customers. Think about now. You are the retail businessman. From whom you purchase, that part is wholesale businessman. Wholesaler price was 150 rupees, but your price is 175 rupees. It is the nature. Now you tell me, which is the highest price? Where you can see the highest price? Highest price every time in the retail business when you compare with the wholesaler. That's why I have given here what? Unit selling price is relatively low in the wholesale business. The other one, providing trade discount. Yeah, you have to give the discounts. Why? Because your customers, if you are the wholesaler, your customers will buy large number of units from you. Then you have to give the discount. Why? They don't buy 1, 2, 3 items. Right? They buy 1,000, 2,000 and 10,000 units of products in one transaction. Then you have to give the discount. Mostly discount is given in the wholesale businessman, right? Reducing a certain percentage from the listed price of goods in a sale. Now, these are the characteristics of wholesale trade. What are the characteristics? Purchasing goods for the purpose of reselling, often selling large quantities of goods in one transaction, selling a few selected items, unit selling price is relatively low, providing trade discounts. You must remember this everything, right? Now, I'll give 2 points here. The person who engage in retail business, retailer. The person who engage in wholesale business, we give a name for him, what? Wholesaler. Right. Now we discuss about the difference. Now you know what is the wholesale, what is the retail, right? What is the characteristics of wholesale, what is the characteristics of retail. Now we discuss differences between retail businessman and wholesale businessman. Sometime this kind of question will be asked in your O-level paper, right? Now this side I did mention the retail characteristics. In front of the each item I have given their behavior of the wholesaler, right? Now objective of retail trade is to sell goods for final consumption. You know very well this one. Why? When I defined the retail trade, I explained you retail businessmen purchase goods from final, it means from the retail businessman, customers will buy for their final consumption. But under the wholesale, the objective of wholesale trade is to sell goods for purpose of reselling. Objective of the retail business category, final consumption. Under the wholesale category, objective is for resale purpose. Alright. The second point is this. Retailers sell different types of goods by understanding consumer needs and wants. Most of the time, retail businessman tries to sell what the people need day to day. Why they think about that? Because he or she can earn large profit if the retail businessman can sell large number of products, right? Then they should understand what are the customer needs and wants. So every time retail businessman sell different types of goods by understanding consumer needs and wants. But in the wholesale trade, she sells only one or limited types of goods. Sell only one or limited types of goods, but under the retail businessman, he sell different types of goods, right? Then retail price is comparatively higher since the retailer have to incur additional costs to resell and has to earn a profit as well. But under the wholesale trade, the wholesale price is relatively lower compared to the retail price as a result of selling in large quantities and trade discounts. Remember, but mostly trade discounts are not given by the retail businessman. Why? He sells only one or two, three items to the same customer, right? He can't give discounts, right? The other one is retail businessman purchase goods from wholesaler. Then retail businessman also should keep a profit margin. Then every time retail price is high than wholesale price, right? The other one, goods are often sold at the listed price, right? The other one, trade discounts are given in wholesale trade. Normally retail businessman was not given the discounts, trade discounts, but wholesale businessman every time try to give a discount, trade discount. So the other point is this. The other one, last one, retailers are well aware of needs and wants of consumers as they have direct contact with them. Remember, retail businessmen keep direct relationship with the consumer, direct contact with the consumer, end user. But wholesaler keep their relationship every time with the retail businessman. They don't deal directly with the consumers. These are the characteristics and differences between retail trade and wholesale trade. You must remember this is very important to you, right? In every year, your level paper, third or fourth question will be prepared using this lesson. So you must remember minimum 8 marks can be earned from this lesson for your O-level exam, right? Now, you know the other side, international trade. Now we have done what are the topics we have discussed up to now. Remember, we discussed trade, classification of the trade. How classify domestic trade and international trade. You know, domestic trade we classified into two category. Domestic trade we classify into two category, retail and what? Wholesale, right? Here we discuss definitions, definitions of the each one, definitions. Then we discussed characteristics, right? Characteristics. Then finally we discussed differences between, differences between retail and wholesale. We discuss. Now the other side, we talk about international trade. International trade we classify into two category. How? Import trade and export trade. Import trade and export trade. Import trade means your country buys goods from another country or countries. One country buys goods from another country or countries. It is import trade. Example, Sri Lanka buys crude oil from European countries. Import or export? Import. Sri Lanka buys vehicle from Japan. Import or export? Import. We think about the other way. You think Sri Lanka sells garments to the other countries. We sell. We give our goods to the other countries. Then it is export. Sri Lanka sells cinnamon, spices to other countries. Import or export? Export. Then you remember, international trade we can classify into two categories. One is import trade, the other one is export trade. Now, what is import trade? Import trade, this should be trade, right? Trade. Import trade is bringing goods from a foreign countries to this country. What is that? Import trade is bringing goods. It means buying goods, not only goods, services also, right? From foreign countries, right? It is called import trade. We'll see the example. Purchasing crude oil from Middle East countries, purchasing automobiles from India, purchasing automobiles from India. Examples for import trade. Now, next one. Export trade. Export trade is selling domestic goods to a foreign countries. Selling domestic goods to foreign countries. Example, selling Sri Lankan tea to European countries. Right? Selling Sri Lankan apparel products to European countries. They are the examples for export trade. Right? Now you know, international trade we break into two categories. One side import trade, the other side export trade. Import trade means one country buys goods and services from another countries. Sri Lanka buys vehicles from Japan. Examples for import trade. Then Sri Lanka sells tea, rubber and other items to the other countries. Export trade. Export trade. One country sell their product to the other country or countries. It is export trade. Then today we discussed trade and supporting service first part. Under the trade today we discussed these points. We discussed about the trade and supporting services. But today we classify trade into two categories, domestic trade and international trade. International trade. Domestic trade again we classified into two categories. How? I think you remember, retail trade and what? Retail trade and wholesale trade. Under the retail and wholesale we discuss main things, main points are these. Each one we discuss characteristics. It means characteristics of retail and wholesale. And we discussed importance of retail and wholesale. The other one we discuss differences between retail and wholesale. Right? The other side we have done what? Import trade and export trade. Import trade and export trade. Then we have discussed examples for each trade. Import trade means we buy goods from another country or countries. We mean Sri Lanka, right? Export trade means we sell goods to the other countries. It means Sri Lanka sell garments and the other spices to the other countries. They are the examples, right? These are the topics, concepts we have finished today. In the next part, we discuss supporting services. Under the supporting services, especially we discuss about banking in the next part.